Effect of gluten on your body hormonal imbalance. Aside from messing up your brain, bones, muscles, skin, digestive tract, and neurological system, gluten sensitivity can also have a negative impact on your endocrine system, which is responsible for your hormones. Specifically, gluten puts stress on your adrenal glands, which results in hormonal imbalance. The adrenal glands are situated on top of your kidneys and are the ones responsible for a lot of your bodily actions. Mainly, they give you energy, keep your immune system strong, maintain your weight, control sleep quality, maintain a stable mood, keep various allergies at bay, help with hormonal imbalance, and more. Stress buffering glands. Also, since they are in your body, they essentially help you cope with daily stress by producing hormones. In the event your adrenal glands get exhausted, your body systems will start to break down. They'll stop functioning normally, causing them unable to repair themselves. This also causes your body to function slowly, leading to depression, fatigue, loss of libido, and more. Once you undergo chronic stress, your adrenal glands will start producing stress hormones in exchange for your sex hormones. However, if you have gluten intolerance but still continue eating foods that contain gluten, your adrenal glands will suffer from chronic stress due to an ongoing intestinal inflammation. This can lead to chronic adrenal exhaustion, which is a major factor in certain conditions like arthritis, depression, fatigue, fibromyalgia, and hormonal imbalance. Unfortunately, while gluten sensitivity and the accompanying stress on the adrenal glands is a common occurrence, it is rarely diagnosed. Due to this, a lot of people suffer since they are not tested properly for this condition. But why exactly are your adrenal glands affected if you continue consuming gluten while being gluten sensitive? Adrenal glands. The answer is because your adrenal glands are quite sensitive to unstable blood sugar. In case you're wondering, a stable blood sugar is derived from eating healthy, gluten-free food. If you're gluten intolerant, gluten is basically poison. Therefore, regularly consuming gluten can create unstable blood sugar, which in turn places a tremendous amount of stress on your adrenal glands. Since your adrenal glands are responsible for a wide variety of bodily functions, simply removing gluten from your diet is not enough to restore their original function. They have to be reset using a dietary program to help restore their original health. This also explains why most gluten-sensitive individuals still suffer from the following symptoms: asthma, fatigue, allergies, joint pains and aches, frequent illness, sleeping issues, unexpected weight gain, migraines. As a result, even if you're diagnosed with a non-celiac gluten sensitivity and follow a gluten-free diet, you might still continue suffering from symptoms brought about by adrenal stress if you can't find a specialist who works in restoring your adrenal glands' original health and function. Frequent mood swings. This might sound surprising, but your digestive system is literally considered your second brain, and as such, has the ability to influence your mood and behavior. Both your brain and gut work alongside each other and are connected via the vagus nerve. As it turns out, serotonin, which is known as the feel-good neurotransmitter and has a huge effect in your mood, actually has a massive concentration in your gut, or the so-called second brain. This might explain why a lot of researchers keep on finding a connection between the imbalance of bacteria in the gut and depression. Additionally, more and more start using nutrition to help treat the condition rather than medication, which doesn't seem to help at all. Trillion bacteria. Here's another surprising fact: around 100 trillion bacteria thrive in your body, that's 10 times the total number of your cells. Ideally, the ratio between the bacteria inside your gut is 85% good and 15% bad. As such, keeping your gut flora nourished is important to keep the production of serotonin at its optimum level, which in turn can help protect your mental health. Your gut bacteria are easily affected by your lifestyle. Eating a lot of foods that contain gluten and sugar can cause them to suffer. In general, gluten, sugar, as well as processed foods damage your gut health by destroying good bacteria and nourishing bad bacteria. By regularly consuming gluten, the number of good bacteria in your gut will significantly decrease. This can lead to a number of symptoms such as bad breath, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, yeast infection, dandruff, eczema, psoriasis, joint pain, and mood swings. This can also cause you to crave for more gluten-rich foods. The best way you can solve this issue and eliminate mood swings is by following a gluten-free diet and completely eliminate gluten from your lifestyle. Dramatic weight gain. Although there's no evidence that removing gluten from your diet can lead to weight loss, following a gluten-free diet may prompt you to eat more unprocessed foods like fruits and vegetables. Also, those who follow a gluten-free diet are more likely to make healthier food choices simply because they are aware of the importance of reading food labels. That aside, it's already been confirmed by a study that gluten can cause weight gain. The study, which was conducted by a Brazilian research team and published in the January 2013 Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, attempted to examine the differences between gluten-fed rats and rats that had a gluten-free diet in terms of their biochemical markers. Their aim was to put an end to the so-called wheat belly controversy and confirm whether or not gluten can cause weight gains. In the study, both groups of rats were subjected to high-fat diets. However, one was gluten-free while the other has 4.5% gluten in their foods. It turns out that the group which was gluten-free exhibited a significant weight loss with no trace of lipid fat excretion. According to GreenMedInfo's founder, Saya G, instead of calories, gluten is actually the major factor of obesity. Also, the fact that both groups were given high-fat diets and the gluten-free group experienced weight loss without excreting lipids also means that fat-free diets with the aim of losing weight are just fraud. He also recommends avoiding gluten-rich foods, especially wheat, to find out if gluten consumption could be the underlying cause of an unexpected weight gain. Neurological issues. If you like this video, please do subscribe to help us bring in more information about how we can simplify eating and lifestyle. The consumption of gluten can negatively affect your neurological system. Additionally, people who have celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity have reported symptoms such as brain fog, migraines, and peripheral neuropathy. Also, a number of neurological conditions like anxiety and depression are also common in people who are sensitive to gluten. Lastly, there are hints that conditions like bipolar disorder and schizophrenia might be affected by the consumption of gluten in some individuals. However, there's still no solid evidence as to who might be affected and if following a gluten-free diet can actually help. A recent study found that 70% of patients with gluten sensitivity have social phobias while 52% have depression. These are basically the neurological manifestations related to celiac disease and NCGS. However, there are also a few others. Another study conducted by Italian researchers found that 22.5% of individuals who have gluten sensitivity tend to experience depression, migraines, neuropathy, and epilepsy. It was determined that the immune system played a part in 42% of the patients as the researchers were able to detect antibody reactivity to neural antigens. Interestingly, the ones whose antibodies reacted to neural antigens didn't have any neurological problems. This means that the said problems might sometimes take a while to manifest. Also, if patients followed a traditional page 24 gluten-free diet, the results still revealed the same antibodies. This only means that simply eliminating barley and wheat didn't change the way the immune system responded to gluten sensitivity. The research has also demonstrated the effects of consuming gluten on your body. In this case, those with celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity developed a number of symptoms which affected the nervous system like depression, headache, seizures, and more. Also, following the traditional gluten-free diet didn't eliminate the antibodies present during follow-up testing on the subjects. Keep in mind that gluten is present in all grains. Other studies also identify other grains as a major problem for people with gluten intolerance. Also, it's important to keep in mind that substitute grains like rice and sorghum aren't properly studied to use as substitutes. You should be aware that celiac disease only affects 1% of the entire population. Also, some estimates that gluten intolerance is only present at around 0.5 to 13% of the population. Although the conditions are rare, their associated symptoms are very common and can have a number of potential causes. Simply put, gluten intolerance is oftentimes easily misidentified. The problem gets even bigger due to diet trends which suggest the removal of gluten from their lifestyle as it can have adverse health effects. To keep in mind, however, that there's very little research which claims that removing gluten from a diet will result in health benefits for people who are not gluten sensitive. Regardless, if you want to be certain, it's best if you consult your doctor and get properly diagnosed. Also, if you start experiencing one or more of the said signs, you should get yourself checked immediately. Hopefully, you've learned a lot from this book. The signs mentioned above were all based on published studies and are confirmed by a number of researchers and medical specialists.